Man, I fucking hope like hell EBT gets cut off November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Not only because it would just be good for everybody to see all the welfare queens be exposed for the deadbeat parents they absolutely are, but mostly because it would be really nice to just pay 30 to 40% less for all my goddamn groceries. Have a wonderful day.
So this man literally just said he is willing to let people go hungry. He is willing to let people starve so that he can save 30 to 40% on his groceries. One line of things that he consumes, to save 30 or 40%, he's willing to let people starve. This is a classic MAGA mentality. It's me, me, me. All they care about is themselves, and that's exactly why we are in the situation we are in. Instead of looking out for their fellow man and giving somebody help and allowing people to not starve and go hungry, he would rather selfishly save 30% on his grocery bill. That is the typical Republican MAGA today. Somebody who does not care about anybody but themselves and would literally not care if somebody went hungry and starved. Let that sink in.
Hello guys, welcome once again to the channel. I hope wherever you're watching, you're having a great time. Now, we have known that America is a country that most whites feel like they're so much entitled to services being offered to them as compared to other minority groups. For example, right now, Trump's big beautiful bill had some clauses that had serious cuts on SNAP and EBT funds that are supposed to be used to help in providing some cushioning to the general public during hard times. And one of them is the question of food stamps. White Americans have been complaining that their food stamps have been reduced and they're not able to afford things that they used to afford before. But if you look at how previously people are talking about this issue of food stamps and those who are depending on welfare, many whites behaved like they don't depend on food stamps. And if you looked at the policies that they were propagating, they didn't want anything socialist. Those who are talking about America must not welcome socialist ideals are whites. But currently, because of this cut in Trump's big beautiful bill about anything with SNAP and EBT, we are realizing that whites are the ones who have been benefiting from these food stamps more than any other group in America. And currently they are crying and saying, how on earth would Trump, whom they voted, come back and start reducing what they believe was rightfully theirs, and they should have used that to help themselves achieve what they want. So in today's video, we're going to focus on that. Black people have given their reactions about these whites complaining over the food stamps that are being cut from the budget. Let's listen to what they have to say. I shall come back in the end to give my commentaries.
Let them fuck around and find out. And we actually stand on business. I mean, do we need to eat? 100%. But that's why I'm kind of saying we need to do something a little bit more methodical. Like, we need to just pick one day where nobody spends a fucking dime. Grocery prices are high as fuck. Cost of eggs is high. We drink lactate milk, right? The gallon or whatever, I don't even know how many ounces it is of lactate milk that comes in it. It's like almost $8 depending on where you go. Walmart, it's over $6 for a gallon of milk. Grocery prices have been high. What exactly do you think is going to happen when people aren't getting their SNAP benefits and grocery prices are still high? Trump is so self-inflated that he doesn't actually care about the stuff that they're doing. Like, he's like, okay, you know what? Just move the money. I don't really care. Just move the money. Fuck the people who will rely on it heavily. They'll figure it out. Like, they'll do what they got to do. And no telling who's in Trump's ear. Because once you're already wealthy, you're not sensitive to anybody who's not. You don't give a fuck about anybody who's not. They're going to do let them eat cake. You're not going to take seriously that people cannot afford eggs. People cannot afford bread. People cannot afford milk. And I got into a conversation about this with my own sister, and she's like, well, what's the point in telling people not to spend for one day if we're going to turn around and spend the next day? The point is to fuck with these motherfuckers. The point is to let them know that we're actually paying attention. The point is to collectively aggregate, or whatever the word is, our power. The point is to be conscious about our collective movement. I say
EBT, the SNAP benefits, ends in November. And I want to make this very clear. This is my personal opinion. You don't like it, scroll on by. SNAP EBT is paid by tax dollars. I paid for that. I haven't missed a single year in taxes since I was of age. I paid for that, and yet I can't get on it. I don't meet the requirements. Why? Because I'm single. I'm on my own. I don't have a disability. I don't have kids. So I don't meet the requirements according to my state. Okay? So this is why I say my personal opinion. If you have more than 2 kids, you should not be allowed to have EBT. Because the first time you had a kid, you went and got EBT because you couldn't afford to feed the kid. Then you had another, and you barely couldn't afford to feed the first one, and now you barely can afford the second one, so you get more on EBT. What makes you think if you have another one, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, that's okay? Okay? It's selfish. It is selfish. For those that are freaking out right now, welcome to the party. Welcome to the club. What about all of us? What about the rest of us that have been struggling, barely getting by, while you guys get free food every single day off of my tax dollars? If you don't like it, you can scroll on by. But the truth is, my personal opinion, if you have more than 2 children, you should not be allowed on EBT. And if that bothers you, it's because it's the truth. God bless.
Well, y'all, the orange man done did it. He done did it. So the federal government just told the states to withhold the national SNAP benefits for November. And let me make something perfectly clear. Stopping Medicaid and food supplement, nutritional supplement, SNAP benefits right before the holiday season is 1,000% intentional. 1,000%. So that means it is either going to be epically late as a part of collective punishment, and they announced it right before No King's Day on the 18th, because there's supposed to be a huge march going on the 18th, just as a warning to everybody. They announced it on the 18th, or they announced it the day before the 18th, or a couple days before the 18th, that there's a huge possibility that there will not be any SNAP benefits for November or December, or it'll be epically late with no, I'm guessing, no rollback or no back amount. I'm guessing, that's not confirmed. Military healthcare has been down all day, and they don't know when it'll be back up. They don't have any answers, and they can't tell them why it was down. Medicaid was down all day. All of this very much provincial, because they just sent $40 billion over to Argentina. And they sent hundreds of millions of dollars overseas to Israel. All of y'all money, they sent it over to all these other countries and told you to starve for November. You can starve, bitch. You can starve, is what they said. This holiday season finna be a doozy. I'm interested to see how the white folks act, though, because y'all know they the biggest recipients of welfare. I'm interested to see how they react. I knew it was bad when me and MAGA started agreeing on certain shit. Hear me out. Hear me out. Not on the same things, but the common enemy. When we both started agreeing on the common enemy, that's when I said, oh, this is bad.
So the word is officially now that SNAP benefits will not be issued in November of this year, so next month. And I just want to say to all of the single moms out there who are in need of SNAP benefits, EBT benefits, and who are concerned, I just want to let you know that I got this hot $40 waiting on you. This hot 40 is ready. See, it's times like these that we need to come together. We need to come together, right? And I'm going to go to the bank. I'm going to take a bunch of hundreds and get them broken up into 20s. Then I'm going to get paper clips and put them together. So when you come in, I'll have that hot 40 ready for you. We do what we got to do. You take that hot 40 and do what you need to do. Now, here's the beautiful thing about this hot 40 I got for you. It's not really a limit on it. You can come and get a hot 40 on Monday, Tuesday. Then you come back Thursday, Friday, get another hot 40. Come Sunday, get a hot 40. So we're looking to really supplement the single moms, specifically the baddie single moms out there that's really looking for the benefits that they need and they're not going to get because of this unfortunate government shutdown. But like I said, you can jump in my DMs, my number is on my profile, but you know, we need to really come together at a time like this. And I'm looking to be a provider, a hot 40 at a time.
Y'all see how y'all got dependent on the system? Y'all see how y'all got hooked on the system? Y'all see how they made you comfortable on them food stamps? They made you comfortable on that Section 8 and they was going to snatch it away anyway. The entire time, okay? No matter who was in office, Democrats or Republicans, they were running out of money. There's a debt clock for you to check. Now, I want you to zoom in on me. Come on. Don't worry about that pimple. You know your grandma told you, and he caused everybody great and small to take that mark of the beast. People on food stamps, back up. You been broke. You know who really about to suffer? You with 5 mortgages that was renting to the people on Section 8. You're about to suffer. And he calls everybody great and small. You with that 501c3 church, you're about to suffer. All the fake activism, all the fake people that have been fake helping and make money off of people's ailments. See, it's one thing to diminish, but it's another thing to replenish. Everybody makes money when the system goes down. But do you diminish or do you replenish? All I'm saying is, a lot of y'all been running businesses the fake way. Y'all been, I've been down at the SBA getting me a loan. We seeing all the PPP fraud. We seeing all the stuff that went on. Well, it was more frauds and frauds and frauds and frauds and frauds on top of frauds. And the American public was just printing money. The American government was just printing money so people could do it allegedly. And now the money printing machine is done. So if you are not thriving as a business, but living off of grants, living off the SBA, living off of shut the door, party done, I can guarantee you, y'all know he got that little card that said enough is enough, and they gave you a subtle foreshadowing of art imitating life when he was on there firing folks. Anywho, he calls everybody great and small to take the mark of the beast. It was written. And I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about the devil. Because if you think this is not a battle between good and evil, if you think that it's just one entity running this, this is a battle of good and evil. And if you got away from what your father's father said, what your mother's mother said, if you got away from the God of your ancestors, see, that's the problem. Y'all be trying to worship your ancestors, and you need to worship you're supposed to worship the God of your ancestors. That's just how one little word can mess up something. Just like money is the root of all evil. It's not. The love of it is. Y'all need to pick up a Bible for yourself. You need to stop going off of hearsay. You don't remember that game, Whisper Down the Lane? You need to hear for yourself. You need to read for yourself. And the only thing Oprah ever said to the public that was worth some shit was, sign your own checks. They don't even have the babies doing cursive because they won't be signing their own fucking checks. Y'all electronically doing everything. Man, y'all fucking life together. You better like and share because this needs to be shared. Like y'all share the fucking lies.
I ain't gonna lie. In Chicago come November, if you work in these retail stores, Walmart, grocery stores, Food for Less, Jewels, all that shit, all I'm gonna say is don't try to be no hero. It's not worth you getting beat the fuck up to stop somebody from stealing groceries because they didn't cut the link. Like, if you asset protection, honestly, I'm gonna keep it a buck. If I was y'all, because I used to work in asset protection, I'd definitely be looking the other way, because y'all know when shit like this happen in Chicago, it get really wild. And I'm just letting you know, that's not the time for you to be getting beat on and punched on for $16 to $18 an hour. It's absolutely not worth it.
November 1st, no food stamps and no Medicaid. The Trump administration and they trifling ass mamas that birthed them have cut off the food stamps for all the kids right before the motherfucking holiday. These trifling motherfuckers is a despicable ass country that we living in, and it is what it is, y'all. But these is facts. Go Google it right now. SNAP is over with for November. It's because of this government shutdown. Obviously, a lot of people is going to be affected by this. And a lot of people will not be eating in November. Crime is gonna be up in November. All y'all keep your head on a swivel. This shit is getting trifling out here. I cannot believe this nigga done cut off the motherfucking food stamps for November. Thanksgiving. That's the biggest holiday of the year, and niggas won't be eating this year on fucking Thanksgiving. This is some fucked up shit, y'all. I don't really know too much advice that I could give out other than just going to the food banks to try to get some food. That's your best bet, but I'm sure that they're gonna be extra crowded this year. I just don't understand how all of us just be letting this shit go on, and I feel like we don't be knowing. Y'all need to repost this video. I don't think everybody know about this. Everybody should be aware, because like I said, crime is about to shoot up for November and for the rest of this year, because niggas are going to be starving.
Y'all really on this bitch mad about some motherfucking food stamps when there's so much other shit going on in the world y'all need to be worried about, such as the motherfucking government shutdown? Y'all real life don't know if y'all gonna receive any checks from y'all jobs, rent motherfucking gonna be due, and y'all on this bitch crying about some motherfucking food stamps when that should be a priority regardless if y'all get them or not. Food should always be put on the motherfucking table. Y'all sit up and rely on the motherfucking government. Y'all be waiting on motherfucking food stamps. What's the shit called? Housing. Y'all depend on that motherfucking shit. Y'all need to start getting off y'all motherfucking ass and putting in some more work. I'm so humbled, but I'm happy that I haven't ever have to, experience living off food stamps and government assistance, stuff like that. So I'm not, it don't affect me when it's expected. But I do pray for the elderly, disabled people and stuff like that. I feel like they shouldn't be accountable for everything. I feel like they should still get assistance regardless. But all y'all young bitches know, y'all don't need that. I don't give a fuck. Bitch, y'all need to get the fuck up. Y'all want to stay on fucking housing for fucking 28 fucking years, bitch. Let somebody else on there. Y'all want to get motherfucking $1,000 worth of food stamps and y'all selling them, bitch. Y'all not even putting all that food in y'all house. Be hungry than a bitch, and we trying to figure out why when you get $1,000 worth of food stamps, bitch, and you selling them over there. Abusing, using, relying, depending. Shut the fuck up. It's other shit going on. Way more important shit going on than some motherfucking food stamps, bitch. And if you gonna steal, they carry your ass to jail. I don't give a damn.
So it's official. You will not be receiving food stamps for the month of November if you are on them. Meanwhile, there are 17 people in the United States that have $100 billion. In 1999, there was one. Bill Gates. One. So there are people who are literally racing to get to $1 trillion worth of money hoarded. Meanwhile, where do you think they're getting that money from? They're getting that money from you. They get that money by charging you exorbitant amounts of money for the products that they sell and for paying you the lowest amount of wages they can possibly pay you to sustain you. They don't pay you enough to live. They pay you enough to survive. Barely survive. But hey, whose fault is that? Don't we keep showing up for work even though they're only paying you enough to survive? Don't we keep paying exorbitant amounts of money for products that we don't even need sometime? I mean, who's truly to blame here? Them or us for standing by and allowing this all to happen? We're not powerless. We're complacent and compliant. And they love that about us.
Donald motherfucking Orange Man J. Trump. I'ma tell you just like this. What the fuck you mean? Who ain't getting that goddamn food stamps in goddamn November? Cause I'm getting my goddamn shit. I don't know about the rest of you motherfuckers, but I'm getting my shit. Cause I'm gonna tell you just like this on Jesus Lamar motherfucking Christ. I will be at motherfucking Walmart with my steel toes on and my motherfucking helmet, and I dare a bitch try to stop me from walking out that motherfucking store with my groceries. Baby, I'm 250 pounds solid. Baby, you want to see a human motherfucking bulldozer, baby? Because that's what the fuck I'm going to turn into. If you think you going to stop me from leaving out that goddamn store with my motherfucking monthly groceries that I get every goddamn month, I ain't bothering no goddamn body, okay? Why the fuck is y'all bothering me and my goddamn food? I'm just so tired of his big back, bald head, cradle cap having ass. Shaped like a motherfucking penguin any motherfucking way, albino motherfucking walrus looking ass. I'm sick of him. Like, it's gonna be an episode of goddamn Snap if y'all turn them goddamn Snap benefits off, I can tell you that.
Millions of Americans won't be getting their food stamp benefits for the month of November. If you ain't got a letter yet, please believe you're gonna be getting one soon. People are already starting getting letters saying that they're not gonna get their benefits for the month of November because of the government shutdown. So if you receive EBT, be prepared not to get your benefits next month. It's not only gonna affect people who get food stamps. This is going to affect the grocery stores because who won't be there on the 1st of the month, usually between the 1st and the 10th of the month, getting food. All that food that they buy, yeah, who's going to be buying all that food that the grocery stores restocked to sell? They depend on people with food stamps coming into their stores and buying up their food. So the grocery store is going to be affected. If the grocery stores ain't getting people coming in there buying their food, then they're going to start sending people home because we ain't got nobody for you to ring up. We got too many workers in here and not enough buyers. You could go home. Corner stores are going to be affected. Not just big grocery stores. Corner stores are going to be affected too. Schools are going to be affected. There's over 21 million kids on the free or reduced lunch program. Yeah, all them kids are going to be affected. So please believe, just because you ain't on food stamps doesn't mean you ain't going to feel it. And then all the food banks are going to be overwhelmed and have crazy ass wait times, have crazy ass lines for people trying to get food. It's going to be fucking chaos. People not getting their food benefits is going to be complete fucking chaos. Mike Johnson, if you don't open this motherfucking government, you Republicans are in control. Stop blaming the fucking Democrats for this fucking shutdown and do what the fuck y'all supposed to do and negotiate with the Democrats and figure out a way to open up the fucking government before you have millions of people out here fucking starving for a whole month. And crime's gonna go up. Motherfuckers is not about to starve. Crime gonna go up. Morale gonna go down and crime is gonna fucking go up if y'all don't open up this fucking government and make sure that people are getting their benefits. I just seen a video with this guy talking about they had to shut down his Walmart that he works at because motherfuckers was rushing in there with their baskets and just filling up their baskets and running out because they know that they not getting their benefits next month. So chaos has already erupted. And for the motherfuckers who always hopping in my comments talking about, oh, just get a job, 86% of people who are on food stamps, who receive benefits, have a job. They working, bitch. How about you tell your motherfucking president to give the American people a livable wage?
Welcome back to the channel. Now, looking at how everybody is talking, I think black people are right to speak out against those who are coming out right now to start talking about the cuts on the food stamps. Because if you look at how blacks have been treated, many over the years have believed that blacks only call for reparations, or even blacks only need these welfares because they are lazy or they are people who want free money. And this is not the case. Currently, we are realizing that because of this Doge thing that Trump created, the cuts on some government expenditures are proving that blacks have not even been the beneficiaries of these affirmative actions that we are always talking about every time. So we have to really understand that blacks, regardless of what they have or wherever they are, they have always endured harsh conditions and endured them in grace. So one question that we may ask ourselves, why are blacks laughing off whites who think that they deserve these food stamps more than any other people? Many black Americans have long viewed SNAP and EBT programs as lifelines amid systemic barriers like redlining and employment discrimination, which disproportionately trap black families in poverty. When white Americans protest funding cuts amid the 2025 government shutdown threatening November benefits, some black individuals see it as a rare moment of white communities facing the hunger black families have endured for generations without equivalent outcry or media spotlight. This contrast prompts laughter as a way of acknowledgement of delayed solidarity, underscoring white privilege in accessing aid only after personal stakes rise. Protests by white Americans against SNAP cuts often garner swift, sympathetic convergence, from viral ex-posts to notable headlines, framing them as universal crisis. Black-led advocacy for food security, however, frequently gets sidelined or stereotyped as welfare discrepancy and dependency. Some black observers laugh off these demonstrations, recognizing that the privilege that elevates white grievances into policy priorities while ignoring chronic underfunding in black communities, revealing how racial bias shapes which struggles prompt collective actions. Another one is the illusion of universal need. White privilege manifests in the assumption that aid programs are temporary fixes for hardworking families, a narrative that aligns with the white protesters' plea during the 2025 budget impasse. For black Americans, SNAP is often a permanent buffer against inherited inequalities, not a fleeting hardship. Laughing at white protests highlight the disconnect. whites can rally publicly, banking on their race, shielding them from stigma, while black reliance on the same system invites scorn, exposing the selective empathy that privileges white vulnerability. White Americans can protest snap cuts with little fear of backlash, leveraging racial capital to humanize their cause without being labeled ungrateful or facing police scrutiny. Black activists pushing for similar protections often risk vilification or violence, as seen in muted responses to earlier cuts affecting urban black neighborhoods. This disparity elicits black humor from some black voices, laughing at the ease with which whites discover injustices, illustrating white privilege as the freedom to demand equality without historical baggage. Ultimately, the laughter stems from irony. White protests against EBT SNAP defunding in 2025 spotlight a crisis black communities have protested for decades, yet only now, with broader impact, does it threaten real reform. This selective agency embodies white privilege, where white suffering accelerates change while black pain normalizes neglect. By opting to laugh, some black individuals reclaim agency, subverting the power imbalance with humor that exposes how privilege dictates whose hunger finally matters. So while blacks have always talked about these issues before, right now we saw the No Kings Day protest happening. And some of the reasons why these people went to the streets is that they are looking at Trump's cuts on EBT and SNAP. And this is showing that these are the people who are ready to go and protest when it suits them. And when it does not suit them, they call those who are protesting names. And in fact, they even scorn them. That is why blacks are ready to laugh at them and wonder, who are we to even start supporting them, because they have been there vilifying black people who call for equitable access to fundings, equitable access to justice, equitable access to mere resources that are necessary for personal development. And I guess while right now Trump has exposed that they are one of the largest people who depend on the SNAP funding, this really reveals a lot about how the government has been going a long way to help whites over black people. Share your thoughts down in the comment section. And if you're watching us for the first time, please remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share. Thank you, and let's meet on the next one.